This video is going to cover the doctor's SOAP note screen. So first of all, as soon as a patient is arrived for their appointment by either being dragged from the scheduled column to the arrived column or by typing their phone number into the kiosk at the front desk, as soon as the patient is arrived, what they'll do is you'll take them to their adjusting area, so they'll be assigned to an adjusting area. And then at the SOAP note screen, ChiroHD will be pulled up in patient mode. Patient mode, you will the patient will enter in their birthday, and they will be prompted to complete their subjectives. So this will pop up so that they can do their subjectives, and that will happen automatically. Even though it didn't in this video, it will pop up automatically. They'll select their answers. They're in the same condition as before. So when the doctor comes to the table, the patient has finished their subjectives, they've laid down, they're ready to be adjusted. The doctor is then going to complete the rest of the note. Super important to remember that if you do not complete the note in real time, the patient will not be charged correctly for their visit. The reason for that is because the CPT code is attached to the assessment and plan macro. So they've finished their subjective. I'm putting in the objectives. I'm just putting in random stuff here, not really paying attention. And next I'm going to say what I adjusted and whether hydrotherapy was performed or not. Select those answers, and you'll notice that that is when the charges are populated. So make sure that every single time that you see your patient, complete the SOAP note in real time so that the patient will be charged correctly for their visit. So now that we've gone over just the basic flow, you would click submit once the note is finished. I want to go over in a little more detail just the in and outs of this page. So first of all, you have the patient's name. If I click on the patient's name, it will pull up their entire patient profile. You can open up the patient snapshot. You can see the treatment date, the case, charges, and the status of the appointment. Visit history will pull up their previous visits, so you can view a SOAP note from last time if needed. Case info is going to open up their case, which is where their diagnosis codes, chief complaint, care notes are going to live. And finally, we do have presets for invoices. I don't believe that the NuSpine franchise will be using this too much, but just for your knowledge, the quick add is for any invoice presets that are created. Now you have the patient note box, chief complaint and care notes. You have your macros, which Jennifer Dickinson will have provided videos for, so if you'd like more training on your macros, you'll have access to those. You'll have their x-rays, thermal images, EMGs, HRVs, posture analysis, documents, and forms accessible here. And then down here at the bottom is just another place where you can easily see what their charges are without having to click in. Finally, their diagnosis codes are going to live right here. And just note that if you click this and you add a couple of diagnosis codes, save those changes, and when you come back to the page, you'll notice that those are not added. They are still saved. It's just the next time you come back to this page, they will display there. So that is the doctor's screen. I'm just going to submit that, and the patient birth date picker will pop back up. Now, there might be a scenario where a patient checks in and they don't have a birthday in there. So maybe they, when their new patient appointment happened, this patient does not have a birth date saved. So one of two things, it will not check them in, first of all, so they can go to the front desk and have their birth date updated just by coming into the patient profile, updating the birthday, and submitting those changes. Or the other suggestion that we had is to have two tabs of ChiroHD open. Whoops. There we go. Just going to pull up my NuSpine clinic here. So again, I told you that most patients are going to be checking in with their birth date, which is patient mode of the SOAP note screen. You can also have a second tab pulled up on the same browser in provider mode, and that way when a patient arrives, they'll show here in the queue. So when the doctor comes to the SOAP note screen and the patient says, hey, it wouldn't let me check in, the doctor can just toggle over to provider mode, find the patient in the queue, and complete the note from there. The nice thing about provider mode is that you can search for the patient by name, and it will pull up the same screen that you saw before, except there are some more options here on the left. So this has been the doctor screen. Please let us know if you have any questions at all.